Bewley lattice diagram. What is Bewley lattice diagram? This is a convenient diagram devised by Bewley, which shows at a glance the position and the direction of motion of every incident reflected transmitted wave on the system at every instant of time. So it is a graphical representation. By observing that, we can find out various voltages, traveling waves, incident wave, reflected wave, transmitted wave at every junction. We can easily find out. So we can say it is a graphical method that has been widely used for determining value of a wave in transient analysis. Okay. So before going to discuss about that, let us have a recap on this suggestion on transmission lines. So if you take a transmission line, you know the transmission line is represented by RLGC. So there is a sending end, some voltage is incident here. Let us take a portion of this transmission line, which is dx. So which is this portion is x distance from the sending end. So this is the voltage at the end of this small length dx, and this is the current. Let us see how we got this. So the voltage drop across the section PQ and the corresponding current through are given by the equations. You know, V is equal to minus dA by dx, the dou E by dou x into dx, partial derivative of that. So we can write that this value as R into I into dx, because the current flowing in this section is I, small length dx, L dI by dt into dx. So we can write I is equal to, again, minus dou E by dou x into dx in terms of partial derivative. So where is this? I can be written as G into E into dx, conductance, plus capacitance of the line, C into dx into dou U by dou t. So from these two expressions, we can write, we can eliminate dx, we will get dou E by dou x is equal to Ri plus LdI by dt. We eliminate dx in the previous equation. And minus dou E by dou x, dou I by dou x is equal to Ge plus C into dE by dt. You can write like this. So differential equation 1 with respect to x, and inserting the equation 2 in that equation, you will get, if you differentiate this equation 1, minus dou square E by dou x square is equal to R into dou I by dou x plus L into dou by dou x of dou I by dou. So therefore, dou square E by dou x square equal to minus R dou I by dou x minus L. So you simplify the equation. So it becomes minus L into dou by dou x of dou I by dou t. Therefore, so this is the expression for dou square E by dou x square. We can write what is I here. We know the I value. This is the dou I by dou x value. If you substitute this value here, dou I by dou x position, it becomes R into, because minus of minus plus, it becomes plus. We substitute this value, Ge plus C into dE by dt, plus here also you substitute dou I by dou x value. Then if you simplify this expression, this is dou square E by dou x square formula. Okay, these in terms of LC, dou square U by dou t square plus RC plus LG into dou U by dou t plus RG. We know that the resistance and compared to the inductance can be neglected, and as well as the conductance also negligible in the transmission line. Then if you neglect R and G in this previous expression, RG values, this goes out, then the expression becomes dou square E by dou x square equal to LC into dou square E by dou t square. So you can write LC equal to some 1 by A square. So therefrom, you can see that A square is equal to 1 by LC. Okay, we will discuss about that. Let us take that E is equal to f of x minus at. We'll take the function, the voltage, as a forward voltage and a reverse voltage like that. So E is equal to f of x minus at. If you take, then a square into dou square over dou square becomes a square into double differentiation f double dash of x minus at. So also we can write dou square by dou t square is equal to f double dash x minus at into minus a square. If you differentiate twice. Okay, this one. If you differentiate twice, we'll get this. So therefore, if you take the function E is equal to f of x plus a, I said forward and reverse waves, then it becomes, an expression becomes like this, where the general solution of the partial differential equation is E is equal to sum of f of x minus at plus f of x plus a, where f and f are two arbitrary functions, x minus at x plus at of x minus at x plus at. These two functions can be shown to be forward and reverse traveling waves. So that's why you have taken both the functions to get the value of. So surge impedance traveling wave, surge impedance of the traveling wave, if you want to calculate, let us take the forward wave f of x minus at and the corresponding current I. Then if you write LdI by dou u by dou t is equal to minus dou u by dou x, you substitute minus f dash x of x minus at, f dash of x minus at, if you substitute the E value here. So therefore, from this expression, dou I is equal to minus 1 by L into f dash of x minus at dou. So from that, if you integrate this expression, you will get the current. So if you integrate f dash, it becomes f of x minus at, and the integration of this at is minus 1 by a, minus of minus cancel 1 by al, f of x minus at, which you can write this expression as E by an. You know what is a? A is nothing but 1 by root L. Then finally it becomes root of L by C. That means E by I is equal to root of L by C, which is called surge impedance, which can be written as Z naught, natural impedance. So this is the way you can get the expression for the surge impedance. You must know about this. So velocity of the propagation of the traveling wave. If you take a transmission line with conductors of radius r and a conductor spacing d, can be shown that the inductance per unit length of the line, you know, L is equal to mu naught by 2 pi log d by r in this per meter. You know the capacitance value also 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon r by log d by r farads per meter. So there from LC you can write product of these two. If you cancel logarithmic values and 2 by 2 pi cancel, then the LC becomes mu naught E naught into ER. For free space, this is 1. Therefore, mu naught E naught, which is equal to 1 by A square. LC equal to 1 by A square. So there from A can be written as 1 by square root of mu naught into E naught. So which is the velocity of the light. So we got the expression for this A. So therefore, velocity of the propagation of the wave, A is called velocity of propagation, is equal to the velocity of the light. So we can note one point here: if the resistance of the line was not neglected, the resistance is not neglected. Short lines, long lines, based on the line, the negligence, that means neglecting the resistance or not will be there. So the velocity of the propagation of the wave should be found to be slightly less than that of the line. If you don't neglect the resistance, about 5 to 10%. So this is what we have first. You can understand how when a wave incident with what velocity it is traveling, what is the expression for that. So for a cable, if you take the dielectric material has a relative permittivity, which is different from unity. In this case, the above derivation would give the velocity propagation of the cable. How we will calculate? We have to take ER also into consideration. So if you take ER into consideration, here square root of ER will come. Therefore, this is A divided velocity of the light, A divided by square root of ER. So this is for a cable with relative permittivity. So energy stored in the surge. What is the energy stored in the surge? Half C square plus half Li square. Sum of energy stored in the voltage wave and in the current wave. So therefrom you can write E is equal to square root of L by C into I. So C square is equal to Li square. So therefore, or we can write half C square is equal to half Li square. The total energy is equal to C square because half will be stored, this capacitance half will be stored in the inductance. Total energy is equal to C square. We've seen that half of the energy of the surge is stored in the electrostatic field and half of the energy is stored in the electromagnetic field. So now let us come to the discussion of reflection of the traveling waves at a junction. So this is the direction of the wave, incident, E and I. So this is the direction of the wave transmitted, ET. So this is the impedance of this portion Z1. This is the impedance of this portion Z2. J is a junction. So this is a reflection, direction of the wave, a reflection. So for a voltage and current continuity at a junction, you know that the transmitted wave is equal to incident plus reflected wave. Same way the current also. So how can you write ET is equal to the impedance in this junction into the current? How can you write ER? Because it is a reflected wave. Therefore, minus IR into Z1. Okay. What is E? I into Z1. Therefore, you can write the expression E by Z1. E by Z1 is I minus ER by Z1, which is equal to IR, is equal to transmitted wave, IT. I plus IR is equal to IT. You write that, you will get this expression E plus ER by Z2, where ET is equal to E plus ER. So from this expression, if you simplify this, then you will get ER is equal to Z2 minus Z1 by Z2 plus Z1 into E. You can write this Z2 minus Z1 by Z2 plus Z1 into beta. Okay, reflection coefficient. So you can write ET is equal to 2Z2 by Z2 plus Z1, where this one can be written as alpha. Okay, transmission. So if the line is closed at the far end, then Z2 is 0. That means if it is closed at the junction far end, then we can take Z2 equal to 0. If you substitute Z2 0, then ER is equal to minus E. That means if it is closed, the ER is equal to minus E. Okay, equal and opposite. So the incident wave. If the line is open, the far end, then what happens? Z2 is infinity. So you take Z2 common factor, you can write 1 minus Z1 by Z2 by 1 plus Z1 by Z2. So from this, Z2 is infinity, ER is equal to E. If it is open, the reflected wave is equal to incident wave. If it is closed, then reflected wave is equal to opposite to the incident wave, same magnitude. You have to keep this point in mind while discussing Bewley lattice diagram. Let us see this open circuited line fed from an infinite source. Okay, so here observing these are incident step waves. So this is a junction E I. So when a voltage surge E arrives the junction J, which is on the open circuit, it is open circuit, then it is reflected without any change in sign. I said the previous case we have seen the reflected wave is equal to incident wave E. Also, whatever the current surge minus I of the opposite sign to the incident I is reflected, so that the transmitted current is 0. So reflected is E, but if it is an open circuited one, then there would be any current. That's why whatever the incident with minus sign it will be reflected. Therefore, the transmitted current is 0. I minus I 0. So these are open circuit. That is one case if you observe here. Okay, the 2 times of E will go in the transmitter for an open circuit line. No current will go. I is 0. 0 transmitted current is 0. No open circuit line. So if you take another case, if the line is fed from a constant voltage source E, constant voltage source, okay, so then the reflected voltage surge E arrives at a generated end, then E goes again, E reflects back, that E arrives the generator E, generator which supplies E. But one important point is the source, since the generator maintains voltage at its end, a constant voltage E, because it has to maintain the constant voltage E, it has to send back the voltage of minus E back to the line. So that means it has sent E, reflected voltage is minus E, because at generator there should not be any rise in the voltage. So same E should be maintained at the generator. Then what will happen? It will send back minus E. Whatever E comes, that minus E it will send back. This you have to keep it in mind. The Bewley lattice diagram, so that the generator voltage will be maintained at E. That you can observe here. Okay, it is sending back minus E again, so that the voltage at the generator is maintained at E. Anyway, it is open circuit line. The current is 0. So another case, the voltage source minus E is accompanied by the current surge, whatever the voltage source, minus I. The surge voltage minus E, as it reaches the open circuit junction J, is reflected again without change, okay, in sign, and accompanied by current plus I, so as to make the transmitted current again 0. So you see, generator has sent minus E to the junction. Again at the junction, it will reflect back with minus E. The same minus E will come back. But the current is here now plus I. If the reflected voltage is plus E, the current is minus I. If the reflected current is minus E, reflected voltage is minus E, current is plus I. So that the current transmitted is 0. So this point you have to observe. You can go through once again. Once these voltage and current waves reach the generator, the instantaneous voltage and current will be 0, and the line would once again be uncharged. The generator now sends a voltage source surge E accompanied by current surge I, and the whole process described repeats again. So at the generator, the voltage should be maintained constant. When it is a constant voltage source, if it is infinite voltage source, okay, the reflection, the voltage will rise like anything. If it is a constant voltage source, to maintain the voltage here constant, whatever is reflecting, again with the negative sign, it will reflect it back, so that its voltage won't be changed. So that's why it is maintained at I, E, and the current I. So basing on this, we will go further. Let us take the short circuit line fed from infinite source. Here 2 points you have to remember: infinite source or finite source. Finite source means generator, infinite source means will supply lighting. When a voltage surge E arrives the junction J, which is on short circuit, now junction is short circuit, it is reflected with a change in sign minus E. You see, previous case in the open circuit, when E is incident, same E will reflect back, so that E plus E, 2E will be at the transmission side. Here short circuit line, E is incident, minus E is a reflection, so that the voltage at the other side, at the short circuit position, is 0. It is opposite to the open circuit position. So minus E will be reflected back, so that the voltage of this junction, it is 0. Transmitted voltage is 0. Whereas coming to the current, which is opposite, that when I is incident, I is reflected back, so that I plus I, 2I is the current at the short circuited side. Same way in the previous case, if the line is fed from constant voltage source, it is infinite source, it is a constant voltage source, then as the reflected voltage is minus E, because minus E is reflecting back to the generator. So what the generator will do, it will send plus E back to the line. Whatever the voltage reaching the generator, with the negative side, it will reflect it back, so that the voltage at the generator side will be maintained constant. So that we can observe here. Okay. So let us come to the Bewley lattice diagram. Now we have discussed the open circuit line, short circuit like this, the line connected to parallel lines. So many cases we can consider like this. So with these expressions and values, it is very difficult to understand how the voltage is rising, how the current is rising. So these factors, it is very difficult with these numeric expressions to understand. That's why Bewley has proposed a graphical representation, a convenient diagram to understand every junction, what is the voltage, what is the current, what is the direction. So we can write Ex is equal to E into e power minus gamma x, where gamma is equal to minus alpha plus j beta x, where alpha beta I already told, reflection and transmit. transmission coefficient. These are when the voltage surge of magnitude unity reaches a junction between the two sections with surge impedance Z1, Z2. Then that there are two junctions Z1, Z2. A voltage wave is incident here with a unity magnitude. Then part A is transmitted and the part B is reflected back. So you can see this here. I'm going to explain this. Part A is transmitted and part B is reflected back. In traversing the second line, there will be an attenuation factor K. That means when the wave is traveling, there will be an attenuation. Let us take the attenuation factor is K on reaching the termination at the end of the second line. Then what happens? Its amplitude becomes K times A. Whatever the wave is transmitted, that is multiplied by this attenuation constant, A into K, such that the wave magnitude is reduced. Let us keep this K is attenuation factor and reflection and refraction. We'll see. If you observe this diagram, here we are showing reflection at this junction A1, A1 dash. That means when the wave is traveling from left to right, A1 is the reflection. You observe, A1 is the reflection. When a wave is traveling from this way, right to left, A1 dash is the reflection coefficient. Okay? So this is the direction you can observe. This is the reflection. Same way, what is refraction? When the wave is traveling from left to right, this is B1 is the refraction. Okay. When it is traveling from left to right. When it is traveling from right to left, B1 dash is the refraction. So here reflection means is opposite to the direction of the wave. Okay, when you are traveling from left to right, you have to multiply with A1 for reflection. When you are traveling from left to right, you have to multiply with B1 for refraction. Same way for the junction Z. So let us see here. When a wave with a magnitude 1 is traveling, it has reached the junction 1. So it will be reflected and as well as transmitted. So 1 into what is the reflection coefficient when it's traveling from left to right? A1 is the reflection coefficient. So 1 into A1, this is the value of the wave, it is reflected. What is the refraction? That means transmitted value 1 into, this is the B1. This is transmission, B1. Once it reaches this junction J2, okay, so with what value it will be reflected? Because for junction J2, the reflection coefficient is A2. So that's why this B1 into A2 is reflected. What is the transmitted wave? This B1 into what is the transmission coefficient here? B2. B1, B2 will be transmitted like this. Let us see here. This B1, B2 is traveling. Once it reaches the junction J1, because it is coming from right to left, I am saying, and it is coming from right to left, B1, A2. When it has reached the junction J1, with what value it will be reflected? I said when it is coming from right to left, the reflection is minus A1 dash. Okay. So B1 A2 into minus A1 dash. Not minus A1 dash, A1 dash. B1 A2 into A1 dash is a reflection. This is a reflected wave. What is the transmitted wave? I said at this junction J2, when it is coming from right to left, the transmission coefficient is B1 dash. So therefore B1 A2 into B1 dash. So that is this one. Let us see this wave when it has reached the junction J2 at this position from left to right. So what is the transmission value? B1 A2 A1 dash into, this is the transmission coefficient B2. So what is the value reflected at this position? B1 A2 A1 dash into, this is the reflection value. A2 B1 A1 into A2 dash. So like this, I think you understand this point. Like this, you can find out the values of the a wave of unity magnitude if it is incident, how this value will be changed with reflection and refraction at every junction. Let us see the analysis of the open circuited line fed from ideal source. So this is one of the examples. A wave with a magnitude 1 is reaching like this. So K is a attenuation factor. So 1 into K is the value. That means the value is attenuated. is the value reaching this point, this junction, because it is open circuit line. At this point, I told if it is an open circuit line, whatever the wave is incident, same value with the same signature, it will be reflected back. If E is incident, plus E is reflected back. Therefore, K is the wave incident, plus K is the reflected back. Once it reaches, during this process, during the traveling, it will be attenuated. That means K into attenuation factor K. K into K, K square is the value reaching this position. K square is the value reaching this position. Now, I said at this position, what is the reflected value? Whatever the value of the voltage that is reaching this junction at this source, okay, ideal source, just like a generator. So with opposite sign, it will be reflected back to maintain the voltage constant. That's why when plus K square is the voltage incident, minus K square is the voltage reflected back. During this process, again it is multiplied by the attenuation factor minus K square into K minus K cube. Again at the open circuit end, whatever the value incident, that will be reflected back. So that's why minus K cube is the reflected back. Again minus K cube during this process is multiplied by K, it will reach minus K power 4. With opposite sign, it will be reflected back at ideal source plus K power 4. During this process multiplied by K power 4. Like this, you can observe for open circuited line with the attenuation factor K, how the voltage is reflected and and again reflection takes place at different ends. So we can write the VR by summing up of all these K plus K at this junction, 2K minus K cube minus 2K cube, like that 2K power 5. So we can write the equation like this up to K power 2 power 2n minus 1. So this is the voltage at the open end after nth reflection. So you can write VR like this. This is a geometric series which has a summation given by. You can converge this equation. You can write expression like this, geometric series. For the final value, you can write t tends to infinity. Therefore, n tends to infinity. If you substitute VR is equal to 2K by 1 plus K square. This is the reflected voltage when n tends to infinity, after n number of infinite number of reflections. So anyway, you know that 1 minus K square is greater than 0. 1 plus K square is greater than 2K. Therefore, you can write 2K by 1 plus K square is less than 1. So if the line is terminated through a resistance R, for the line terminated through resistance R, not infinite line, open circuited line, it is infinite with the resistance R. 1 is the magnitude of the wave traveling incident here. It is multiplied with K, attenuation factor. At this position, as I said, there is a reflection coefficient beta. So K is multiplied with beta. Beta K is reflected back. So during this process, it is multiplied by attenuation factor K. It becomes B into K square. So it is a finite source. Whatever the voltage incident with the minus sign, it will be reflected back to maintain the voltage constant. Minus B beta into K square. Again, during the process, it is multiplied with K minus beta K cube. Same wave will be reflected back. Again, multiplied with K. Again, with opposite sign, it will be reflected back. So this is the way the line is terminated with a resistance of some value. Previous case, beta is not there. The open circuit line. Now beta is there. You can observe this difference. So where beta is equal to R minus Z1 by R plus Z1. In case if it is R is infinity, open circuit line, we can write 1 minus Z1 by R by 1 plus Z1 by R. When R is infinity, it becomes 1. That means beta is equal to 1. So that is previous case. So we can write VR value from this expression. K plus beta K minus beta 2 into beta cube 2 in B square K power 5 like this. We can write this value. Okay. Plus again reflected value is B cube K power 5 will come. Let's see this. So here beta minus beta K cube minus beta square K cube. not 2 times. It is different value. Beta square is there. So you can write VR expression like this. Finally, that is simplified 1 plus beta by 1 plus into k by 1 plus beta k square. So k is less than 1 because it is a attenuation factor. Therefore, beta k is less than 1. From this expression, 1 minus beta k by into 1 minus beta k into 1 minus k is greater than 0. So if you substitute these values in this expression, you can write 1 plus beta into k by 1 plus beta square is less than 1 value. So we can write this expression like this. So from the previous picture, t, 2t, 3t, 4t, 5t, what is the value at t? What is the value of 2t, 3t? If you observe, so it is increasing, again decreasing, increasing. You can observe that can be pictured like this. At t it is increasing, again 3t decreasing, again 5t increasing position, plus minus, like that the wave is reaching like this near to 1. That means how the reflection, the wave is experiencing the reflection, you can observe from this graph at different instants. You see the reflection at a substation, a subsystem. If you see here, substation system, it has 3 junctions. The first line is Z1, the impedance. This line is Z2, Z3, Z4, like that different impedances are there. And here they have given the attenuation constants K2, K3. So when a line with, here we are showing the reflection refraction coefficients. Beta 1 dash, as I have said previously. So you can take beta 1 dash as the reflection coefficients and alpha as refraction coefficients. So as I explained in the previous case, at the junction from left to right, if you go, this is the reflection. From right to left, if you come, this is the reflection coefficient. Like that, from the left to right, if you go, this is the that means the reflection coefficient. This is, if you come from right to left, this is the reflection coefficient. So from this, you can understand the wave with magnitude 1 is incident here. At this junction, it is multiplied with beta 1 and reflect. And it is multiplied with alpha 1, it is transmitted. Okay. After transmitting here, during this process, it is multiplied with the attenuation factor K2 into alpha 1. Once it reaches this junction, J2, it is reflected. I said, what is the reflection coefficient here? Beta 2. So K2 into alpha 1, beta 2 is the reflected wave. So what is the transmitted wave? K2 alpha 1 into alpha 2 is the transmission coefficient. So this is the transmission. Again, at this position, the transmission wave will be K2 alpha 1 alpha 2, and during this process, it is attenuated by a factor K3, and K3 is multiplied, and the transmission coefficient here is alpha 3. Therefore, K2 alpha 1 alpha 2 into K3 into this alpha. So like this, you can observe at different junctions by using these attenuation factors and reflection these coefficients. You can observe how the wave is experiencing the different values. Okay, let us see this simple example here. With the experience of the previous one, there is Z1 400, Z2 600. This is 66 2 by 3. Actually, that is missing, and this is 600. So these are the attenuation coefficients. For station A, we can calculate beta 1. Beta 1 is equal to Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z2 minus Z1 divided by Z2 plus Z1 equal to 0.2. And what is the reflection coefficient opposite to that? Minus 0.2. So what is alpha 1? Alpha 1 is equal to 2 Z2 by Z1 plus Z2, 1.2. What is alpha 1 dash? That means when it is coming from that side, you have to take 2 Z2 this one. When it is coming from this side, the 600, when you come from this side, you will take 2 into 400 by 1000, 0.8. Like that for station B also, we can calculate beta 2. Therefore, Z2, 66 2 by 3 minus Z1, 600 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So anyway, this is opposite to this value, minus 0.8. And what is alpha 2? 2z2 by z1 plus z2. This is z2 for the station B. What is alpha 2 dash? This is the value you have to take while calculating alpha 2 dash. That is 1.8. So using these values, we can calculate different waves with what are the multiplying things we can observe. Okay. So let us continue this explanation. Please join for this session.